Live from my basement, it's Friday afternoon with Austin Burke and all of his toys. God, I'm a loser. What's up, Flick fans? I was excited for this. Any SNL fans in the house? I can't hear you.
Okay, let's see if we can get through one of these skits.
Sketches. Davey, please.
Okay, you ready, camera one? Oh!
On October 11th, 1975, 11:30 p.m., a ferocious troupe of young comedians and writers changed television forever. Find out what happened behind the scenes in the 90 minutes leading up to the first SNL broadcast. This movie's rated R for language, sexual references, drug use, graphic nudity. It's about as R-rated as expected and fast-paced, right? I saw the trailer, one that points to exactly what this movie is to a T, and knew what I was in for. Isn't that great when marketing gives you what the movie's going to be? Joker.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry.
But I was sitting back questioning, is this going to be more like thoughtful Aaron Sorkin, fast-paced, quick dialogue, or is it Adam McKay? Something like The Big Short, where you're flying through this plot a mile a minute, but it has something more to say. I wouldn't say Saturday Night has more to say, because it is just exactly what it says it's going to be, leading up to the first SNL episode, but the chaos happening behind the scenes with all of these big personalities, Chevy Chase, Dan Aykroyd, but you also got the NBC studio execs kind of snooting their noses up saying, yeah, you guys do what you're going to do. You go live all you want, but we don't believe you. You're a small fish in a big pond. The pond is vast. There's no way you're going to keep up with the rest of what NBC has to offer. Little did they know what they were in for with SNL, but one person that did know, Lorne Michaels, played by Gabriel LaBelle. I would say he is the main character in this film, obviously, being the creator of SNL. Gabriel LaBelle from The Fabelmans fame. It's nice to see him in a different type of role, but it's also nice to see him not doing a full-on impersonation of what people try to do very often with Lorne Michaels. He's doing his own thing, but he was very believable as the character. My issue going into this movie was that I saw this cast and I'm like, are these guys just too young? Because they all kind of look young, and it doesn't really feel like they're going to match the intensity of what these guys were in real life. They are young, and some of them look young, but I'll tell you what, there's some surprising performances in here.
Hey, that's pretty good.
You got those that I'm not as familiar with, like Rosie Schuster, played by Rachel Sennott, and she's doing a great job, but I couldn't tell you if it's accurate, if it's what it needs to be. She's just really good in the movie. But then you got Dan Aykroyd and Chevy Chase. I think those were the two for me, Belushi, obviously, but those were the two where I'm like, they have to nail it or at least capture the essence. Corey Michael Smith as Chevy Chase. We know he's got to be hilarious, but he's also got to be an asshole. That's what Chevy Chase was, probably still is, and he does a nice job of balancing those two things. He's a jerk when he needs to be a jerk. It seems like he's not taking this too seriously. He's messing around with people on set, but there are times where the older crowd, those that have been famous for a long time, are not going to take his crap. There's a great scene with Milton Berle and Chevy Chase where J.K. Simmons actually plays Milton Berle, and they kind of have a back and forth. It's the older generation, and then at the time, the newer generation, and you see the difference there. It's also just, it's a crazy scene. If I said it out loud, you wouldn't believe me, but you see the differences there. And I know this is a movie that is based in and around true events. They probably got it as true as they possibly could. But there are going to be moments that are exaggerated. One, to make the story better, and two, to make it funnier and or more chaotic. So I understand that this is probably not 100% true. It's not. Let's just say it. But in all honesty, I'm here to be entertained. Who cares? Unless they're completely repulsive towards a group of people or a specific person, they probably got close, and I believe Reitman did as good of a job as he could, so a conversation like that between Burle and Chase is exactly what I want to be entertained. Speaking of the old heads, you got more NBC execs, and Willem Dafoe plays one of those execs, does exactly what you expect him to do. He is intimidating, but he is perfect as this bigwig character that comes in and basically has no belief that this is going to work, and while it's so chaotic on set, and everyone's trying to figure out what the hell are we going to do, how are we going to get this to work, you've got Willem Dafoe in the background saying, I don't believe in any of you, and do you even deserve my time and or money? But they know they're going live very soon. So they gotta get it together.
It's over. We are screwed.
A couple more people. Nicholas Braun plays two characters. I thought the stature would be an issue because I'm like, I'll know it's him both times. But it's such minor roles. Well, I'd say Kaufman's more of a role, but he's really good. Lamorne Morris, a standout as always. John Belushi, played by Matt Wood. He was not in the movie as much as I thought, but good. But really, Dan Aykroyd, man. Dylan O'Brien. I knew it was Dylan O'Brien. And one thing I want these movies to stay away from, we don't want a ridiculous impression. We want someone to capture the essence. And I was afraid Dylan O'Brien would be doing a ridiculous impression. Turns out, he's just kind of capturing the essence of Dan Aykroyd. It's not spot on, but it's really good. And I was really happy with the decision and the casting. He does a great job. And again, I could see the complaint of, why do we care what happened behind the scenes? But I just love these fast-paced, rampant, real-time types of movies that are trying to tell you a story of something that we know all too well what actually happened, the result of it all. But we don't know fully what happened behind the scenes. And this may not be the perfect picture painted, and there were times where even though it was fast-paced, I'm like, we're spending time here when this just isn't as interesting. And it does feel like after the hour mark that they're kind of running out of things to do or say. At that point, it's just like, let's get to the live. But they still managed to keep me interested. And I know it's not an Oscar-worthy script, and I know it's not dialogue we haven't seen before, maybe 1,000 times before. And Jason Reitman's not the most exciting auteur director, but you could tell he knew what he was doing. I like the look of it. It really does capture that lower budgeted feel while keeping it cinematic in a way. And yeah, they could have done fully real time, like minute to minute, and I would have been like, that's cool. But it didn't hurt me what they did, and they really got the highlights of it all, the madness behind the scenes. So I feel like I'm blabbing. I'm interested in the material. It's fun to see these characters interact. It's nice to see such a stacked younger cast, and most of them did an excellent job. There were only a few that were a little bit over the top. And so before I give you all my score, what's your favorite movie like this? No, again, it's not Aaron Sorkin, or it's not one of these big Oscar players. But it's just an entertaining film that had a lot of fun with itself. That's what she said, and I need to know your thoughts down below. Did you enjoy Saturday Night? Saturday Night is the exact movie audiences will be hoping for. This fast-paced, chaotic, and occasionally hilarious behind-the-scenes experience is a blast. The truth is probably being stretched, and there's a lot crammed into this runtime, but it never slows down. It never loses its momentum. It keeps you going until the very end, with a nice payoff in there. And so, yeah, this is exactly what I expected. Nothing more, thankfully, nothing less, and that's a good thing. So, I enjoyed it. My kind of movie. Let me know if it's your kind of movie down below. Appreciate you so much for watching, and I'll be seeing you in another review coming to this channel very soon. You guys should guess what it is.